A chair is not a chair when no one's standing there. I know I'm butchering Luther Vandross's song up, but just hear me out. But a house is not a home when no one's standing. Listen to turn a key. Oh, please be there saying that you're still in love. Well, still in love with me. Oh, still in love with me. Yeah. I wish, if I had it all to do again, that I didn't grow up in the 90s. Straight up. That I grew up like around like the late 70s, early 80s, like my mom's generation. You know what I'm saying? Because they had fun. You know what I'm saying? Their songs was about making love. You know what I'm saying? Having babies, you know, creating a family. You know, they had Stevie Wonder, my Sherry Ma, when the say. You know what I'm saying? Bob Marley, one love, let's make together, then it'd be alright. I know I'm butchering up these songs, but I'm just trying to explain to you that they had it good back then. I mean, come on, you go to a little house party and shit, you get you a little shorty back in the late 70s, early 80s, you go in raw. Ain't nobody know about no fucking condoms back then. You know what I'm saying? Then next thing you know, you may have syphilis or some shit, some curable shit. You go down to the the clinic and shit, get your shit, take your pills. You know what I'm saying? You wait the fuck, about 5 days later, you good. You go back out to another house party and scoop up another broad. Straight up. I ain't never heard any stories where my mom said she was at the disco listening to Donnie Summers. I think that was her name. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden the ops broke in and shot up the club. Never. That's my word. I ain't never heard my mom say she went to a house party and she was listening to Patti LaBelle, Aretha Franklin and shit, Smokey Robinson. Turn off the Teddy Pendergrass? Turn off the lights and light a candle. Turn them off. Never heard her say in the middle of Teddy Pendergrass singing that the ops came in at the house party and literally lit the club up, lit the party up with bullets. Never in my life. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm embarrassed and I'm ashamed because we started that shit in the 90s with the drive-bys. And you can say, well, that was in West Coast. It was still our generation, my nigga. Stop it with the bullshit. With the drive-bys and motherfuckers shooting each other and all the rest of that shit. That shit didn't happen in my mom's generation. Niggas was getting stabbed up. There was a thing back then, you know, that like keep a blade on you. That's about it. Motherfuckers really wasn't carrying guns around and shit. And this is crazy. This is crazy. You know what I'm saying? The music that they listened to made you want to go home and fuck. Straight up. That's my word. The music didn't make you feel bad. It didn't make you feel less of a man. It didn't make you want to go out there and get a gold chain, rob and kill and shoot, you know what I'm saying, and get a gold chain and sell crack and all the rest of that shit. No, the music that my mom's, and if you come from my generation, your mother and your father listened to, that shit was all about peace, love, and happiness. Straight up. They had fucking, what is it, R&B groups like, damn, fucking The Whispers, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Fuck out of here. And all them niggas went like, yo, they, you know, yeah, I know my hair's every fucking where, but you know, like back then, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that we all supposed to look like that, but I'm just saying motherfuckers was clean cut, you know, suit and tie and shit. You know what I'm saying? When you went to a concert, when you went to go see any of these R&B artists in the late 70s, early 80s, you saw a real concert. You ain't had motherfuckers go, yo, motherfuckers, yo. Oh, nowadays, I'm thinking I'm looking at Fat Albert, the Fat Albert show, the cartoon and shit. The motherfucker be mumbling, the fuck? Straight up. We started that shit though. And when I tell my little stories and shit, you know what I'm saying, about my life in the 90s, you know, I talk real light and shit, like, like, you know, when I talk about like going to the club and it was shootouts and shit like that, and I would have to hide behind cars and shit and duck from the bullets. I'm talking as if I was at a park and I was plucking daisies and shit. Like, that's some regular shit that you do when you go to the club, but that's what happened in the 90s. Didn't happen in the 70s and the 80s though. Straight up. I don't like Steve Harvey. And I don't like how he disrespects hip-hop, because hip-hop is not all about violence. You understand? But at the same time, that motherfucker is right. He is right. He is right. His type of music, when he was growing up, it was all about making love. It wasn't about pounding the pussy out, tearing the pussy up and passing it off to my man. It wasn't about that. And I ain't gonna lie, our generation started that. Yo, listen, let me tell you something. It's a testimony right here. You understand? It's like as if I'm talking to Jesus right now. It's a testimony. I'm not gonna even lie. The shit that's going on nowadays, most of the fuckery that these kids are doing, it comes from the 90s. What the Snoop Doggy Dogg said. It ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. It ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. That stays in your brain when you hear that. Stays in your subconscious mind. We don't love them hoes. Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. Lick on these nuts and suck the dick. That's what we used to listen to in the 90s. Now, don't you know that? Do you really don't you know that? Don't you know that? Yo, let me tell you something. As a youngin' in New York, my moms we would go to the projects, you know what I'm saying? Or we would go to Jersey. My sisters, cause we have, you know, two different fathers. My sister's side, my sister's father, her aunt, her father's, you know, sister, but you know, her aunt. So my sister's aunt, we would go to Jersey. And we all would go as a family, you understand? From Brooklyn to Jersey. And each time we would visit my sister's aunt, you know, it would be her husband there, and they would be playing, he would be playing music and shit. They be having like, you know, drinks and shit. This is all for the adults, but the kids were there, you know what I'm saying? And they might have some snacks or some shit. We might have to go in the kitchen, we may go in another room or whatever while the adults is in the living room, right? I never forget it. The first time I ever heard this song, New Shoes. Oh. I can't wait. You know I love you. Something done. Yo, move it up. Y'all ain't hear me. Y'all ain't motherfucking hear me. I ain't trying to be funny. Please, white people that's listening, that's looking at this video. I mean no disrespect. I'm not a racist. I'm not prejudiced. I'm none of that shit. But at the end of the day, even the white people in the 70s and 80s had talent. The white fucking artists these days are horrible. But back then, Tina Marie, I'm talking square bitch to you, baby. They were playing hits. Yo, he was playing hits back to back. And let me tell you something. Nobody in that motherfucking room, while they was playing that music, ever wanted to fight. Ever got into a shootout. Hell, my mom's even had, parties and shit over our house. And ain't nobody got into no fight. Nobody got no shootout. Nobody had no guns. None of that. But in 2022, I think niggas just go to the club just to want to shoot. You know what I'm saying? What gun am I going to bring today? I don't give a fuck about what I wear. Man, that doesn't matter. As long as I got a blunt, I got my backwoods, I got my weed. I got my genetically modified weed. And cause y'all ain't smoking the real sticky icky. I'm just being real with you. As long as I got my backwoods, my weed, I don't know even what liquor y'all drinking now. What are y'all drinking now? I don't even know what the fuck. Oh, lean. As long as I got my lean. Damn, y'all ain't nobody going to the ABC store no more? Nobody. Some of that shit I gotta say is your fault, seriously, because we wasn't doing none of that shit. It was like Easy Jesus. I don't know if y'all know what Easy Jesus is. E and J. It was Henny. You know what I'm saying? It was Tanqueray. Oh, it was a 40 ounce. Motherfuckers wasn't like, yo, hold on, let me go to the store. Let me go get the whatever the fuck that you know, coarse syrup, the lean, and then some candy, some Jolly Ranchers with some motherfucking Kool-Aid. Nigga, you sweet tart motherfucker. You. This motherfucker got some sugar in his tank or something. So some of that shit I said we were responsible for quite a few things, but we ain't responsible for everything. Goddammit. Well, let me get back to the story. You know, I got my motherfucking damn backwoods. I got my lean. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck what I got on. Not in 2022. Not in 2022. No. Don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? What Glock am I going to take with me? 43X, 19, 17? Which one? Well, I'll go any mean. As a matter of fact, I'll take all of them. How about I take this AR pistol too? I'm in the club. Oh, somebody smiling. Bop, 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 bop. That looked like my ops. Bop, bop. Oh, it's just a little baby. Nah, it's a dinosaur. Cause y'all are just fucking just going off the perks, off the lean, and all the rest of that shit. Salvia, all that. Mushrooms, acid. Y'all taking all drugs. Listen, back in the days, at least when niggas, you know, my generation, at least niggas experimented, you know, one drug at a time. Y'all niggas is taking multiple drugs at a time. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to know what the fuck. I don't even want to know what the fuck y'all be seeing when y'all shooting niggas. You know what I'm saying? Y'all think y'all in fucking playing goddamn Grand Theft Auto or some shit in this bitch. Shit is crazy to me. Straight up. I just wish I was in the 70s and 80s, man. Fuck the 90s. You know what I'm saying? That shit was violent. Straight up, like after Brand Nubians, y'all ain't hear me, and I was there. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I saw the change. Niggas was fucking wearing African medallions. You know what I'm saying? Dashiki, talking about black power to the people, brother, all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And then NWA came and that shit got deaded. Motherfuckers took all that African shit off and put on LA Raider jackets. I know, cause I had one. With the motherfucking starter cap to match. Wearing all black. Fuck the police. Niggas with attitude. We started it. Straight up. And oftentimes, man, I go back and I listen to that music. Roy Ayers, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? The funny thing about it is, we didn't have no respect for our elders either. I don't mean to go on a tangent, you know, be everywhere with this shit, but it's just popping up in my mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, you know, nostalgia's coming in. You know what I'm saying? We ain't had no respect for our elders. You know what I'm saying? We might have not taught our elders the way you taught to us, so-called old heads. But we had no respect for our elders. We used to sample their music. Matter of fact, we used to take their music and use it. And then when somebody such as Roy Ayers would sue us, for an example, would sue us for taking the music and not paying them, you know what we say? I mean, you old ass motherfucker, you wasn't making no music. You wasn't making it. You wasn't like making no money off of it anyway. We took it and now you trying to get bread. You broke. That's what they used to say. Because we did a lot of sampling, you know what I'm saying, in the 90s. And some of those samples were purchased the legal way, while others weren't. A lot of rappers back then sampled music, stole people's music, the old school's music, you know, the 70s and 80s and shit, it could go down to the 60s, 50s and 60s and didn't pay him nothing. You understand? But the irony of it is we took songs that was, you know, about in the 90s, we took songs that were about love and being together and all the rest of that shit, and we perverted them. Especially motherfucking Puff Daddy. He was good for that. Lil' Kim as well. They took all of these songs and turned them into fucking sex, drugs, you know, sex and drugs and money. In the case of Biggie, you know what I'm saying? Violence. So yeah, man, I just want to take it back to the 70s and 80s, yo. Straight up. That's my word, man. And I mean, even though I didn't grow up on that, I grew up on it, like, you know, of course, like when your mom's was cleaning up and shit, and you know, on Saturday morning, she would put the shit on. She put on Bob Marley. She would put on like Aretha Franklin, Patti LaBelle, you know, the Whispers, you know, I mean, the list goes on. They had a shitload, Shaka Khan, you know, a shitload of fucking music that was just utterly fucking amazing. Amazing. And I can tell you, man, out of all that music, what Bob Marley's, I shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot the deputy. Ooh, that's the only thing that I heard when motherfuckers were talking about shooting somebody. Other than that, it wasn't until our generation came in. And you can say, well, the white man infiltrated the hip hop and they turned it into gangster rap. They the ones that call it gangster rap and and it was reality rap and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, whatever. Waka. All I'm saying is that at the end of the day, black people don't want to be held accountable for anything. So you know what we do? It's just easy for us to blame it on the white man. Straight up. I mean, the white man has a horrible history when it comes to black people. So when we say the white man's fault, it's easily accepted in our community based on the white man's history with black people and how they treated black people back in the days. But some of the shit is not the white man's fault. Some of the shit is just about a bunch of greedy ass niggas like Puff Daddy, where Mace is rhyming on, making a song about the motherfucker. The dude Freddie P for making a band is talking about how he want to kill himself because Puff ruined his life. Another nigga from Day 26 is saying, oh, you know, well, shit, Puff ruined our lives. And all of the people that were and are signed to Bad Boy has not had a successful career at all. And Puff Daddy is black. And I know what you all are gonna do, or rather say, to bail his punk ass out. Well, the white people took him under his wing and taught him to, man, fuck out of here. Accept responsibility. Straight up. That plain and simple. This is what this video is about. Just accepting it. Just knowing that, yo, we created gangster music, and when you hear about FBG Duck getting killed, King Von, the list goes on of known rappers and unknown rappers, and also upcoming rappers that have died. Know this. It came from somewhere, and that somewhere, that someplace, it's from the 90s. We created that shit. We created that monster that you see today, called so-called hip-hop, that's unrecognizable. Straight up. I turn on the damn radio station, I can't believe my ears. And you know what's the difference? And I'm gonna be done with this. You know, I will go as far as to say this. When you listen to the 90s, hip-hop is totally different from the 2022. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because they get to get away with a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying, on the radio stations nowadays. Let me tell you something. It was real strict back then, you know what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't say nigga, you couldn't say a lot of shit on the radio stations. that you could kind of say now on the radio stations. Your song could get played. You know what I'm saying? If you talk about running the, if you're not cursing, you know what I'm saying? You could actually talk about running up on the ops and shooting them and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? We couldn't do that in the 90s. But I'm telling you, if the 90s, let me say this. If you took social media and all of this shit that this generation has and dumped it into the 90s, I bet you we probably be worse than this generation right now. Straight up, man. Come on, man. Stop it. Y'all act like Mobb Deep and man, Kool G rap, and man, there was so many motherfucking rappers talking about shooting and killing till it's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? And I know, I'll just say this and then I'm done. Some people were talking about the reality of the streets and what they really had to go through, and they didn't have no choice. And that's real hip hop. That's reality rap. That's real. I'll give you that. In the 90s, I'll give you that. Whereas now it's real, it's all fake. And everybody just want clout, and they'll do whatever it takes to get it. That's the difference. So you did have quite a few rappers that was talking that real shit. You know what I'm saying? It was gangster rap, but it was, yo, this is what's going on in my fucking neck of the woods. You understand? And they wanted to tell their story. You know? I'll give you that. But for the most part, man, we created that violent ass motherfucking music that you see to, this day. You know? And, yo, seriously, I ain't gonna lie, man, our generation knew better. We came up off of Marvin Gaye, Aretha Franklin, The Whispers. Man, I could go on. And even our generation, we had New Edition, Jodeci. Them niggas even though we were fucking with Tim boots on, it was rugged. I would understand how you women, like you women, back in the days of the 90s was giving up pussy. Like, this shit was just crazy. And if you want to talk, I'm gonna be done. I promise with this one. And y'all want to talk about some, transgender and all of this. Man, we wanted our women looking like men. I'm not gonna lie. I bought my girl at the time a fresh pink pair of fucking Timberland boots. Back in the 90s, motherfuckers like TLC, Mary J. Blige, all of them niggas was wearing Tim boots, baggy clothes with their hat turned to the back and shit. Come on, get the fuck out of here, man. Straight up. Man, listen, we weren't brought up like that. My mom's, man, had me wearing cardigans and shit. And yeah, I was wearing fucking polo before I know it, Lacoste or rather Izod. You know what I'm saying? We was wearing that shit back, at least I was, back in the days. That's when, they was like really like making like the polo button-up shirts and shit like that, and the suits and the ties and shit. It wasn't really like urban wear back then, you know what I'm saying? Like you would wear that shit to like a special occasion, you know what I'm saying? I could go on with this shit, man. But yeah, man, music done got fucked up, you know what I mean? And I'm telling you, my mother's music, when she came up, even my grandmother, man, James Brown was a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? He never once, he said, what did he say? You know what I'm saying? He said, I know crazy or some shit like that. He ain't never talk about no guns and shit. He said, I don't know Kung Fu or some shit. He said, but I know crazy. Yeah, man. Stop the violence. It's cliche. I gotta say it, you know what I'm saying? Please stop the violence. Oh yeah, hold on. Let me turn to the next one. And when somebody tries to offer you some drugs, just say no.